Hi, this is Hansen, and welcome to Insights to Impossible, and welcome to Las Vegas. Today, I would like to talk to you about how to gain control over your life, because either circumstances rule you, or you rule your life and your circumstances. It's a big difference, so let's get started by talking about how we lose control. How do we lose control of our life and the direction of our life? Well, what I have found after working with people all over the world now is that the main reason is they're not in touch with their life purpose. They're not in touch with what drives them at a deeper level. They're living other people's expectations of them, and that is not something that is very fulfilling for a very long time. Why do we get up in the morning? Do we get up and go to work just so we can pay the bills? No, that is not something that is going to drive us for a very long period of time. So that's number one, becoming aware of what our purpose is, because that is when we can start to move ahead. But the good news is that you can take control back of your thoughts and your life. You see, it is the thoughts on a conscious level that dictates your emotions, that becomes your actions. So as we start reclaiming that control and becoming aware of our thoughts from any given moment, that is when we choose freedom. That's when we can start creating. One of the best texts around this is Affirmative Power by Thomas Troward. And I'm going to read you a little excerpt, and I really want you to pay attention to this. If you're a serious student and if you're serious about getting better results in your life, you cannot ignore this. This is so good. He writes, "We create forms of death, sickness, sorrow, trouble, and limitation of all sorts, and then think life into these forms. With the result that," and this is important, "however, non-existent in themselves, they're not existing yet, but we make them exist in our mind. To us, they become realities and throw their shadow across the path which would otherwise be bright with the many-colored beauties and innumerable flowers and the glory of the sunshine." Isn't that beautiful? You know, the power is amoral. It has no form. But if we think downward-bound thoughts, that's what we're going to get. If we think upward-bound thoughts, that is what we're going to get. Joseph Murphy said it very well. He said, "Your ability to utilize this concept will either take you up the mountain of peace and prosperity or down the valley of poverty and misery. According to the application that you make of it, it is up to you to make the application." So staying in control takes a consistent effort. And what we're going to do is that underneath this video, you can download a PDF of this particular text, Affirmative Power. And I would encourage you to team up with somebody that you know, somebody that you respect, and read that text with them every single day over the course of a month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months. Because what happens is that your ability to choose your thoughts over a given period of time will become stronger and stronger and stronger to a point where you are in control of yourself. And when you're in control of yourself and your thoughts and your emotions, you totally control your reality. And that's a beautiful thing. Another factor when it comes to taking control back is to learn to use fear as a friend, as an ally. Because fear shows up when you're moving towards something greater, something bigger. But we have been programmed since childhood to look at unknown as being dangerous, as we've been programmed to measure everything we can lose. So fear shows up quite often as you're moving ahead. But when you recognize that that emotion is there because you're on the right path, you're on your way out of your comfort zone, you learn to look at it a little differently. You invite it into your life as a friend, as an ally that is there to show you you're moving in the right direction. If you don't do something regularly that scares you a little bit, you're not moving anywhere. I make it a habit to make sure that I stay a little bit uneasy about certain things, because if I know if I'm not moving in the right direction. As my mentor and friend Bob Proctor would say, if you're not living on the edge, you're taking up too much room. So you need to be out there where it scares you and excites you at the same time. That is the growth zone. That is when you're constantly moving towards something that is worthy of you. One other point that's really important to make as it relates to you taking control back of yourself is to realize that you are the product of the top 5 people you spent the most time with. You need to start looking at your social circles with no judgment, but just look at their lives. Are they moving where you want to go? Are they already there? If not, chances are you're not going to be going there either. You are that product of your environment. So we need to start spending more time with people that are moving in the direction we want to go in, and a little less time with people that are not. That doesn't mean we're cutting them out of our lives. That just means we become aware of how they spent their time and how we truly should spend ours as it relates to gaining control back of our life. And one last point to make about taking control back of your life is that you need to have a very worthy goal. You need to have a worthy direction, because if not, chances are you're going to be swayed off course at every single turn. When you are on purpose with your life, when you're living life on purpose, what other people think of you, what other people say about you is going to have less and less meaning. And that drive is going to start to come from within. It is like a rose that flowers, it comes from within. It slowly but surely blossoms. And you're the same way. Your life purpose is already there. And by focusing on these steps and taking control back of your life, that blossoming will start from within. And that is a beautiful thing. So you take control back of your life, of your trajectory, and that is truly when you start to create. That's the difference between freedom and prison. Now, subscribe to my channel, like this video below, and step out, bet on yourself, gain control of your life, and go live the impossible.